we're about to pack up and leave the 2011 Frankfurt Motor Show. We've seen some really cool concepts and some really nice production cars as well. So we're going to give you our top 5 cars from this year's show. Tim?
Yeah, well, I have to say the highlight for me was probably the Ford Evos. It's a concept car, obviously, but it's a real showstopper. It's the kind of car that just makes you stop and stare, and it's got some great features on it, like the double gull-wing doors. Obviously, they'll never make production, but it's really got the wow factor, and if any of the features from that end up on some future Fords, I can't wait to see them.
Does it have like a pulsating light down the side of it?
It doesn't, no. You're going to talk about the Audi A2,
Audi A2, it's got a pulsating light. What else do you want from a car? This is perfect. But realistically, it's going to fit in quite nicely between the A1 and the A3, the new A3, in the current range. I think it's kind of a car that Audi should build, and it sounds like they're going to. It sounds really good.
But there are so many cars in Audi's range already. Won't it just be even more confusing?
Oh no, I thought the old A2 kind of fit a gap for quite a lot of people. I think a lot of people liked it, and I don't think the A1 quite covers that. I think it'll be that kind of small sort of MPV sort of style, but even smaller. I think people will want that. I think people will buy it.
And it does look a bit different from a lot of the current Audis as well, I guess.
Yeah, and there was another small car that kind of took your fancy as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually over there behind us, isn't it? It's the VW Up. That's well, smaller again than the A2. It's a city car, kind of rival for something like the Toyota Aygo or the Fiat 500. It's not as funky as a 500, is it? It's kind of a bit more sensible, but I guess you'd expect that from VW. But it's yeah, it looks really practical. It's got a lot of space inside. They're saying about 70 miles per gallon from the Blue Motion version, so you know, if you want affordable motoring, it looks like a good choice. And I guess, you know, the VW badge means good resale values as well, so a thoroughly sensible small car that doesn't have any pulsating lights, sadly, down the side.
It's definitely better looking than the Fox, but in terms of cars that could look better than the car that was before it, brings us on to Porsche and the new 911. The 911's always had the same story about it, people saying it doesn't look quite different enough. I think the new one, the front end looks very similar, but I think they've done a nice job on updating it and really making it look a little bit more fresh. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked 911s. When I saw the picture of the new one, I was a bit disappointed actually, because it looked quite similar, but actually in the metal, I think it does look better. It looks quite a bit sleeker, and as you'd expect, it's more powerful, more efficient, and I'm sure it'll be great to drive. I think the only question mark over it from the kind of driving point of view is it's got this new electric power steering system, and electric systems are notorious for not having as much steering feel feedback through the wheel, so I guess we're a little bit concerned about what it'll be like to drive, but
good excuse to get one in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll be booking that as a test car hopefully soon. So yeah, can't wait to try it. Yeah, but I guess we got to put our sensible hats back on. And in terms of production cars that your average punter is going to be able to buy and run at a reasonable cost and fit their family in, what would be your choice from here at Frankfurt?
I've got to say, I was quite impressed with the i30. It's I like the i40, but now that the i30 actually, personally, I think looks better than the Focus and the Astra. The problem is, does it drive as good as M2? Certainly the Focus. I mean, it's going to have its work cut out to challenge the Focus, but I think in terms of looks, I think it's definitely up there.
And I mean, you had a look at the interior as well. Did you think the quality was up there with the European brands?
Yeah, I definitely think they've done the right work on upgrading the interior. It looks really, really good. All the buttons feel, they feel chunky. They feel like they're not going to fall apart. It's what you want from a car for that sort of price, and the family's all going to be using it. You're going to have kids probably punching everything. It looks like it can withstand a good family environment.
Yeah. So well, that's the highlights of the show. Did you have a low light from Frankfurt?
I think we're fairly unanimous on this one.
I think we are.
Got to be the porcelain Bugatti Veyron. I mean, what on earth is that about? Why do you want a car that's built of a toilet? It makes no sense to me at all. I mean, I know it's kind of like, £1 million, and you do what you want with it, and if you bought a car like that, you wouldn't be too bothered about how much money you're spending. But really, I wouldn't be seen in that, not for no love nor money.
No, I'd love to have a go in it, but I think I would be a bit embarrassed when I climbed out. The paint job looks awful. It's called the Veyron L'Or Blanc, I think.
Oh dear, that's even worse that they've named it.
I think it's about $1.5 million actually. You'd have one of those would set you back, and definitely for people with more money than taste. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's it from us from the 2011 Frankfurt Motor Show, but you can find out more about all the cars we just talked about on our Frankfurt page. You can find that at www.which.co.uk/Frankfurt 2011.
Yep, and for hundreds of reviews for the cars we've already driven, you can log into the site at which.co.uk/cars.